What is up, everybody? My name is Orion Tech Tips, and in today's video we will be doing a PC build with the new RTX 3070. So we're going to start with the 3070 and the 3080. We'll do another build 3080 and the 3090. We might even do more than that, but we're just going to start with 3 builds. Hopefully I'll release the other 2 builds relatively soon. But anyway, let's start with this. This is about a $1,300 build, $1,200 build. Yeah, about $1,300. But yeah, let's start with the Ryzen 7 1700X. I'll just bring the mic so hopefully you can hear me a little bit better. This is the 2700X. So this does have a very good cooler included with it. I was lucky enough to build with the 3700X, and I did see that, yeah, the cooler was very, very good. Okay, so yeah, this is an 8-core, 16-thread. If you know what, like any other like Ryzen CPU, like you know what to expect from a Ryzen CPU. But yeah, okay, so 105 watt TDP, core clock of 3.7 gigahertz, and a boost clock of 4.3 gigahertz. Great at video editing, great at gaming. It's a great all-around CPU. And yeah, I mean, there's really not too much difference Ryzen 7 to generation, but this is still a great CPU. And we will be using the stock cooler just because it's so good. If you want like a liquid cooler or just like a more fancier cooler, then yeah, go with that, but you will be spending more money. Okay, for the motherboard, we're going with the Asus ROG Strix B450F. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you must be very familiar with this board. It has 4 DIMM slots, all of the features that you would come to expect: Wi-Fi, fast internet, great sound chip, max memory, DDR4 64 GB of 3200 megahertz, and yeah. Okay, so for RAM, we are going with 32 gigabytes. I did see some other tech YouTube channels do an RTX 3070 build with only 16 gigabytes of RAM, but I would say if you're spending this kind of money, I would say you should go with at least 32 gigabytes of RAM, because I can't live without 32 gigabytes. I might be able to get it with 24, but I definitely could not get away with 16 gigabytes. I was actually, like, most modern games do utilize more than 32 gigabytes, probably more than 16 gigabytes. You've probably seen that on the channel. Call of Duty Modern Warfare utilizes like 20 to 22 gigabytes. But actually, I was playing Titanfall 2 last night, and we were just at, like, we were about using 16 gigabytes of RAM. And yeah, you could get away with 16 gigabytes of RAM for some of the older titles, but keep in mind, Windows needs some RAM, and it will just result in a ton of stuttering. I did, like, back in the day where you needed 16 gigabytes of RAM. I only had 8. And I could play games like Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2, but they just kept stuttering. It would go from, like, 60 frames to 0 frames, and just up 60 back down to 0. It was a horrible experience. So yeah, I'd say go with at least 32 gigabytes, so that would be about $135. Okay, so for storage, this is, of course, a personal preference. You might just want to go with all SSD storage. You might want some mechanical storage. We went with a 500 gigabyte SSD for Windows, and then your key applications, so probably Windows, your video editing software. Maybe you want some games, maybe you don't. But yeah, so 500 gigabytes of storage. Maybe you want like a terabyte SSD, but games are so huge, so then I just went with this 4 terabyte SSD. Sorry, a hard drive. That's I do the exact same. I have about 4 terabytes of mechanical storage, and even with that, I kind of struggle. I can't have all my games installed, so 4 terabytes. It's a struggle to get with like 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes. If you have like a large game library like I do. Okay, and for the video card, you already know what to expect. This is an RTX. God, okay. This is an RTX 3070. In terms of performance, it is right on par with an RTX 2080 Ti. So you are getting a $1,200 video card for just $540. So very, very good value. And for the case and power supply, again, personal choices. We just went the Corsair Spec Delta RGB. Spec Delta RGB. Looks good. That's really, just go with whatever case you like the best. Personally, for like this, I try not to go with like something crazy. So this is only $80. Power supply is 100. It is a 650 watt gold, fully modular cooler master power supply. Very good, very reliable. It's a great power supply. It is kind of pricey. It is $100. But yeah, so that covers so yeah, for a total of $1,344.17. So you can play all of the latest and greatest video games at 1080p, 1440p. You can push higher refresh rates. You can even do some 4K gaming. You can do some video editing. That's of course what I want with the this CPU, because it's really good at video editing. If you went with like an Intel CPU, live streaming video editing, it would be a lot harder unless you're spending over $1,000 on like an Intel CPU. So yeah, that will do it. I will definitely be sure to do a PC build with the RTX 3080 and the 3090. And then we'll just do like some updates. Okay. Anyway, thank you, and peace out.